What's good, YouTube? David Sports Cards here, back with another video. I've been dipping my toes into pre-war, slowly but surely. There is a lot to learn, a lot to take in. Post-war vintage is in my wheelhouse. I know a lot about the players. I know a lot about the different issues and the companies that made cards and photos and different tattoos, stickers, etc. But when it comes to pre-war, people know about the popular sets, the Diamond Stars, the Gaudi, the DeLong. But like the T206, there's a lot of cards that just have a letter number designation, and those can be a lot to unpack and can get very confusing. So been trying to do some research on those, and I actually found a card when I was on the Cards with a Story vintage sales thread that happens on Twitter every Wednesday. If you're a vintage fan that uses Twitter, it is a no-brainer to follow that page and just be there. I've gotten some great deals for my collection, including this. I was able to pick up a 1916 Ferguson Bakery pennant of the great Smokey Joe Wood. Now, Smokey Joe Wood is not a Hall of Famer, but it is nice that he is a Red Sox. And he was a great young pitcher who, in 8 years with Boston, amassed 117 wins, including a league-leading 34-5 record, and won 3 World Series with the Boston Red Sox when they were kind of dominating the sport before the curse of the Bambino. And Smokey Joe Wood, he had a great start to his career, but an injury made him have to get off the mound and move to right field, where he finished his last 3 years of his career as a mainly outfielder, and kind of just hit league average, and his career just came to an end. But Smokey Joe Wood, super talented. Walter Johnson, who in my opinion is the greatest right-handed pitcher of all time, set on record that there ain't no man alive that can throw harder than Joe Wood. And that was just the ultimate compliment. He was a flamethrower ahead of his time. It's a shame that he got hurt and couldn't compile the Hall of Fame numbers that we would like to see, but that's part of the reason I was able to get this for an affordable price. As someone that's new to pre-war, there's Walter Johnsons and Ty Cobbs and Christy Mathewsons, etc. in a lot of these sets, but they can be pretty expensive. So learning about the lower end Hall of Famers or the stars like Smokey Joe Wood, who just had their career cut short, can be really fun, educational, and a great way to add pre-war issues to your collection for a fraction of the price. So these pennants are really cool. They were issued with their bread in 1916. The Ferguson Bakery Company was out of Massachusetts, and there's 97 of these known. The images on the front is actually the same one that was used on the M101 Sporting News cards, and as you can see here, mine has part of the image ripped, but thankfully it doesn't rip anything showing Joe Wood. So I was really happy with the price I was able to get this for. Common players you can get under $100 typically, but when you start getting into the Hall of Famers, you're talking hundreds of dollars, and Joe Jackson maybe being the most expensive of the players that are in this 97 card pennant set. And what was really cool that I did in my research is they had premiums of these basically, which were much larger as you would see a standard size pennant, and they would have a more detailed design than these like clover looking things on the side. And those premium full-sized ones, you'd have to collect 50 bread coupons to send into the company and get them. I think that's why they were so scarce. We're talking about the mid 1910s, and people obviously didn't have a ton of money back then, and I don't know when they stopped doing the promotion, so how many of those full-size pennants were really made? A lot of them, even the common players, will sell at auction for thousands of dollars. And it's just a really neat set that I believe I've seen on John Mangini or Rick Vintage Oddball Cards channels before, but a set that I had personally never looked up, looked into, and am now very blessed to own one in the PC, especially a Red Sox legend who brought some championships to Fenway. So, appreciate you guys listening as always. Like I said, if you love vintage cards and don't mind Twitter, you definitely should be on the Cards with a Story thread, because you can find some cards that you didn't even know you wanted or were looking for, like I did with this Joe Wood pennant. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Keep collecting.